Hello and welcome to Eyewitness Report. I am Yomi Otaigbe. This week's edition of the program examines the security situation in Imo State and how security operatives raided criminal hideouts and nabbed 30 suspected kidnappers in 2 communities. We also return to Taro Ilegbo community in Lagos State, where residents are now relieved of fear of being sacked from their homes. Join us for these and more on the program. Following the incessant violent crimes in Imo State recently, Governor Hope Uzodinma gave a marching order to security operatives to stem the tide of kidnapping and other forms of criminality so that residents and visitors can enjoy the state without fear. To this end, a raid was carried out in 2 communities.
Houses and shops in Uda community, Osu local government area of Imo State, are noticeably deserted and placed under lock and key. Residents reportedly fled their homes due to fear of bandits believed to have dominated the community. Osu local government area has been known to be the hotbed for kidnapping and banditry in the state.
We want you to see more. Let's go.
In a bid to restore order, the Joint Security Task Force in the state comprising the Army, the police and the DSS stormed Uda and Lilu, a neighboring community in Ihiala, Anambra State, which has been converted to hideouts for criminals.
That's where they roast, they hang and roast. You can go inside and see there.
During the raid, several suspects were arrested. Vehicles and properties suspected to have been stolen were recovered. Human parts are littered in open spaces. The task force also discovered a shallow grave where bodies of kidnapped victims were buried.
We noticed that the community has been deserted. These boys have taken over the community. They've carved out swaths of land for themselves. And that is a brand of insurgency. There is nobody, it's just a ghost town. Everybody has disappeared from this town. And in course of the raid, the security forces were able to rescue the Eze from Okigwe, Eze Ihenacho Ndukwe, who was kidnapped, I think, some days ago. And then we discovered a lot of decapitated bodies. And surprisingly, in the 21st century, we noticed that people practice cannibalism here. Because we saw human flesh being roasted. You know, so it was an eyesore. And we recovered a lot of vehicles. We saw a lot of dead bodies. What they do is to kidnap. They kill some of them they behead them, and then they roast. Of course, they engaged the security forces, the military, the police, and the DSS. They engaged us, and we've made a lot of arrests.
The traditional ruler of Amagu, Ihube community in Okigwe local government area of Imo State, who was kidnapped some days ago, was among those rescued.
They came to our Okigwe local government on Saturday night and picked 2 of the traditional rulers and 2 other young boys and took us to that place. So unfortunately, one of the traditional rulers is no more. And by God's grace here, I want to thank His Excellency for prompt action and thank the gallant security operators who came timely to rescue us.
One of the female suspects, Precious Ude, denies being a member of the gang. She says she was kidnapped alongside 5 other girls.
I'm not a member. I've not even eaten human body before. I've not even held gun before. They asked me to join them. I said no, I cannot. I cannot kill my fellow human being for nothing.
So can you just narrate a little what the kind of things you've seen in that place?
They killed one army man, and this man here, they kidnapped him in the night with one fair man there. So they kidnapped them. They killed some. That day we came, they show us human head that if we tell government anything about this case, that they are going to cut off our head.
So what else did they do there?
They beat us. They even kill human being, kill them, roast the human being. I don't know anything. I don't know. Me, I'm always inside the room. Sometimes they will bring us out. We stay small. They will carry us inside.
The suspects were taken to the command office of the DSS and paraded before Governor Hope Uzodinma.
It has been a very thing of worry, wondering how entire local government, like Osu local government, will be abandoned in the hands of criminals and cannibals. From what we have seen, you will not agree with me that these are ordinary criminals and bandits who has no future, who has no plan, who are killing human beings and roasting human beings, eating human beings, cannibals. How else are we supposed to treat this kind of idiots, if not to ensure that the law takes its course? Well, this thing has been around for some time. Oftentimes we discuss our strategies, and before they will be implemented, it is foiled by the group. Because of mutual suspicion, I think we have agreed to only discuss at the end of every operation. So I don't want to encourage security agencies to tell anybody how they intend to continue this fight. But I know the new strategy is working, and my government will give them every support they need to ensure that there is peace in Imo State, and then Imo people will be better off for it. If you recall, several months ago, I did tell the whole world that this insecurity is contrived and sponsored by enemies of the state, particularly some aggrieved politicians who doesn't like peace and who doesn't want the progress of Nigeria. But today, I think we can go home and continue to thank the Almighty God. And I want to commend the security agencies in Imo State, the DSS, the Army, the Navy, the police, the Civil Defense, all of them, for putting their heads together and making sure that at least Imo people will come home to celebrate Christmas.
Acting on intelligence report that some of the fleeing bandits are planning to regroup, members of the task force returned to Osu 4 days after the initial raid. This time, they discovered over 10 decomposing corpses, including one identified as the body of a traditional ruler.
In order to restore the dignity of the human persons that were grossly violated by the hoodlums, the state government, through its health agencies, accompanied the security forces to the camp this morning to excavate and exhume some of the bodies, and that is exactly what they have done, so that they could be given proper burial. Of course, some of the bodies arising from the operation we had earlier, some of the bodies were recognized by their families. So family members of those the deceased also joined us to the camp this morning, where we went to the pit to evacuate the bodies.
Security agencies have assured the public they will continue to raid the criminal hideouts until there's no hiding place for criminals in the state. The Imo State government promises to continue in its efforts to fight insecurity and ensure that everyone involved faces the full weight of the law.